As you're joining, feel free to drop in the chat what you feel like you need in your body tonight. We'll get started in just a few minutes. And also let me know how the volume for the music is. I'm still playing around with that too. Hi, upper back. Oh, awesome. Okay. Gotcha. Again, as you log on, feel free to share in the chat what you need in your body tonight. We'll be starting on just a little bit. We'll be starting on our back tonight, just like last week. So if you want, you can go ahead and make yourself comfortable. I lost my phone here. Yes. And as you get settled on your mat or in your bed or just on the floor, maybe start to notice your body's connection to the ground, the different places that your body connects to each other. I'll pause our music as we start off with our meditation. And I'll save this for the end. Okay. We'll go ahead and get started. So I want to invite you, if you haven't already, to make your way onto your back, or if there's another position that feels comfortable to you, you can take that as well. And gently close your eyes or lower your gaze. Become more aware of your breath as it is without trying to change it. On your next breath, begin breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. I also want to invite you to place one hand over the heart and the other over your belly to encourage some deep belly breaths, trying to breathe a little bit more intentionally, allowing the lungs and belly to fill and expand with as much air as feels comfortable to you. And on your exhale, releasing through the mouth. We'll continue with our body scan from last week, our neutrality body scan, where we're focused more on what feels neutral and pleasant in the body rather than what feels tense or uncomfortable. If your mind wanders, that's totally okay. Or if you're noticing a lot of thoughts and feelings come up, I encourage you to simply acknowledge that they're there and return to your breath as many times as you need. Bringing your awareness to the top of your head, gently scan and notice any places that feel neutral or pleasant to you here. Allow that scan to include between the brows, the nose, the cheeks, the jaw, coming around the back of the head. Again, just simply noticing and observing what is present here, what feels neutral or pleasant. Making your way down through the neck and shoulders. Again, noticing what feels neutral or pleasant to you here. Extending your awareness into the chest and arms and hands. Noticing what feels pleasant and neutral here. Continuing to make your way down through the back and through the belly. Once again, noticing what feels pleasant or neutral here. Through this practice, you are learning or remembering to be kind to yourself, to your body for whatever may be present, without trying to change it. Continue making your way through the hips and pelvis and into the legs. Again, noticing what feels neutral or pleasant here. And finally, making your way into the ankles, the feet, even to the soles of the feet, the toes. Again, noticing what feels neutral or pleasant here. I invite you to take one final scan of the body. Again, noticing any other places that feel neutral or pleasant to you here. And you can release the body scan by taking a deep breath in through the nose and release it out through the mouth with a sigh, a little bit like this. We'll take our time coming back up from the floor. Maybe you start to find some movement in the fingers and the toes, rolling out the wrists and ankles. And bear with me, I'm still remembering that I have music now. We'll continue to let that movement spread through the arms, reaching our arms over our head and pointing and flexing through the feet for a full body stretch. On your next breath, you'll inhale, drawing the knees to the chest, wrapping the arms around the knees. Gently rocking from side to side. A lower back massage. We'll gently release the legs, opening back out into that full body stretch through our exhale. Inhale, draw the right leg into the body. Option to hug this knee for a moment of stillness, or to take some knee or hip circles, remembering to go in both directions at some point. Allow this to be self-guided, self-paced. And continuing to stay connected to the breath. On your next exhale, you'll release the leg. Draw in the left leg towards the chest, repeating the same action here. Either finding that stillness through the leg or through the knee, or some gentle movement. And throughout our practice tonight, I encourage you to return to your breath as many times as you need to be a reminder to release, to soften. On your next breath, you can exhale, release the leg. Draw the knees towards the chest one last time. This time, you have the option to come up into a seated position or rock up back and forth about 3 or 4 times. Coming up into a seated position. Once we're in our seated position, we'll take a moment to just land here, allowing the neck, allowing the chin to drop towards the torso, allowing the shoulders to soften. We'll take a breath here, breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. We'll begin to move the head towards the right, circling around for a few neck circles, connecting this movement to the breath. You can keep your gaze soft here, or eyes can be closed. And as you continue this movement, I invite you to set an intention for yourself for our practice tonight. Wherever you are, you can pause and go the opposite direction. Bring your neck back to center. I believe I saw someone said something about upper back. So we'll do a few stretches for that as well. Let's inhale, sweeping the arms up and overhead. Gaze follows the hands. We'll open out into our cactus arms, going for a slight back bend. Option to let the head hang heavy here for just one breath. On your exhale, on your next breath, sweep the arms up and overhead. And we'll repeat this a few times. Looking up as we inhale. Exhaling, allow the head to fall. Continuing a few rounds at your own pace. The next time your hands open into your cactus arms, we'll keep them there. We'll take an inhale. Exhale, we'll turn to the left. Inhale, back to center. We'll turn to the right. We'll inhale to come back to center. Exhale to the left. A little upper back twist as we inhale back to center. Exhale to the right. Go ahead and do 2 more rounds at your own pace. Continuing to breathe. And the next time you come back to center, you'll sweep the arms back up overhead, rolling out the wrists, bringing the hands down beside you. We'll keep our right hand down on the ground. Option to keep the hand right beside you or to come down onto the forearms. If you have a block, a pillow, or a book, you can also bring your arm down to rest on the block. Book is for the prop as well. We'll sweep the left arm overhead, going for a side bend here. Take an inhale. Exhale. We soften. Another option here is to bring the hand behind the head, pushing down ever so slightly to feel a stretch along the neck, upper shoulder area. Take one more breath here. Exhale, we'll release, bringing the left hand down to the other side. Same options here for the blocks. We'll sweep the right arm up and overhead this time. Taking a nice deep breath here. We'll exhale, softening into the stretch. Option to bring the right hand to the back of the head, pushing down ever so slightly for a deeper neck stretch. Taking one more breath here. Releasing on the exhale, bringing the hand back down. One more stretch here. We'll keep our right hand on the knee, bringing our left hand behind us. We'll lengthen through the spine as we take a nice inhale. Exhale, we turn with bring your right hand to your left knee. We'll exhale as we twist, looking over that left shoulder. We'll take another deep breath to soften even further. As you take your next breath, I encourage you to just notice what's coming up in your body. And can you find what feels neutral or pleasant even in this pose? On your next breath, come back to center. Bring the left hand to the right knee this time. Right hand goes behind you. Lengthen through the spine. As you exhale, turning to look over the right shoulder. Continuing to breathe. Becoming more aware of what's present in your body without trying to change it. One more breath. On your next breath, come back to center. We'll make our way on to our hands and knees for our cat-cow. Once we're on our hands and knees, also if you do have any knee sensitivities, you're welcome to place a pillow, a blanket, or even roll half of the mat up under the knees. We'll get nice and steady through the hands, spreading the fingertips out evenly. And as we arch and lift through the chest, we'll inhale for cow, gaze goes forward. Exhale, rounding through the spine. Chin to chest for cat. Inhale, lifting and arching for cow, dropping the belly. Softening through the shoulders, gazes forward or towards the sky. Exhale, rounding for cat, drawing the belly towards the spine. Gaze goes towards the navel. Continuing a few more rounds at your own pace. Option to soften the gaze or close the eyes here. Maybe even begin to take a few hip circles in any direction. We'll pause after your next round. We'll pause back in a neutral tabletop position. We'll bring the big toes to touch, knees as wide as the mat, sinking the hips down towards the heels, walking the hands forward, bringing the forehead down to rest for our Balasana Child's Pose. Feel free to take any variation of Child's Pose that feels the most supportive to you. Option to bring the hands down by your side, hands clasped behind the back or the neck. Whichever variation you choose, I invite you to connect to your breath. Allow yourself to be supported by the ground beneath you or the bed beneath you. On your next breath, go ahead and walk the hands over to the left side, coming back down to rest for another side bend, another side stretch here. Remaining in Child's Pose. Continuing to breathe. On your next breath, you can walk your arms back over to the center, Pausing for a moment before walking your arms over to the right and coming back down to rest. We'll continue to breathe here. Gently walk the hands back to center. We'll come up briefly onto the hands. We'll extend the left hand out and open through the heart space. We'll take an inhale. Exhale, we'll thread the left hand under the arm, coming to rest down on that left shoulder. For our thread the needle. Option to walk the right hand forward or to go for the bind here, bringing it to the small of your back. We'll stay here for a few breaths, releasing through the shoulders, the upper back, and even through the hips in this posture. Continue to breathe. Allow your breath to be that reminder that it's okay to soften. It's okay to release. And it's okay to listen to your body, to take any shape, any other shape that feels good to you as well, that feels more supportive. On your next breath, you'll plant your right hand next to your face, gently pressing away from the mat as you open back out into that twist, opening through the heart space, bringing the left hand back down to the mat, opening through the right as you inhale, exhaling as you thread the right arm through the left. Same option for the hands here to walk that left hand forward. We're bringing it to the small of your back and coming to rest once again. And your thread the needle. And you'll continue to breathe here. Take a few more deep breaths here. On your next breath, you can bring your left hand next to your face, gently pressing away from the mat as you swing the right arm back out and open, planting that hand back down on the mat, coming back into our tabletop, and for just a moment coming up into a kneeling position. In our kneeling position, we'll go ahead and tuck the toes, clasp our hands behind the back, and we'll take a nice deep breath. As we exhale, we'll let the head hang heavy, gently tugging the hands down, pushing the hips forward, or a slight back bend, or maybe a deeper back bend if that's in your practice. Opening through the heart here in our modified camel pose. On your next breath, slowly bring your head back up. Bend at the torso, extending the arms up towards the sky for another breath. Exhale, slowly coming back up before making our way onto the back for our figure four pose. Once you're on your back, you can keep your knees bent. And we'll bring the left foot or left ankle over the right knee, threading the left hand through that little window here, coming around the right, lifting this leg up closer to our torso. Option to wrap the arms around the shin instead. Option to wrap the arms around the shin instead. And we'll take a moment here, pausing in stillness. If you'd like, you can also begin to rock gently from side to side. Option to even extend the leg or straighten the leg. Another option is to drop the legs over to the right side, bringing the right hand, lightly pressing down on that left knee. Gaze goes towards the left hand, opening out into a letter T. Right hand can follow into our supine twist. Option to keep the knees staggered as is, or even to stack the knees on top of each other. One final option is to extend the legs or straighten the legs. And we'll stay here for a few breaths. Take a few more deep breaths here. On your next breath, go ahead and bend at the knees if they're straight. And then using your legs, your core, gently bringing the legs back over to center. Wrapping the arms around the knees, gently rocking from side to side. Before bringing the feet back down to the ground, This time, we'll bring the right ankle over the left knee, threading that right arm through the little window, lifting that left leg, wrapping the hands around the thigh or the shin. Taking a moment here, either taking a moment of stillness, option to add a little movement, maybe gently rocking from side to side, pointing and flexing the foot, even straightening the foot. Continuing to stay connected to the breath. We'll gently bring the left foot down to the ground, beginning to plant our right foot towards the ground, going for our supine twist. Left hand gently presses down on the right knee. Gaze follows the right hand, opening out into a letter T. Option to open out that left hand into a letter T as well. And once again, you have the same options here for the legs. Option to keep them as they are, stacking the knees or straightening the knees. And continuing to stay connected to the breath here for a few more moments. On your next breath, gently using your legs, bringing them back to center, wrapping the arms around the legs, gently rocking from side to side for a nice lower back massage. And place the feet back down on the ground, bringing your feet as wide as the mat, or if you're in bed, bringing them about hip width apart, or a little bit, just slightly wider than hip width apart. Begin to windshield wiper the legs from side to side, connecting this movement to your breath as your knees come up. Inhale and exhale as they fall to either side. Take a few more rounds. Next time your knees come back to center, you'll keep them there, walking them closer to each other and walking the heels closer to the tailbone. I'd like to give you a few options here before we go into our supported bridge pose. If you have a block or two, you can grab that, or if you have a pillow or blanket, that works as well. So we'll keep that handy. We'll place the hands down by our side, palms facing down. On our inhale, we'll press away from the mat, lifting the hips up towards the sky for our supported bridge. Exhaling as we slowly lower back down to the ground, one vertebrae at a time, making sure that lower back touches the ground or mat. We'll do that again. Inhale, lifting the hips as high as you can. This time we'll take a block, placing it right under the sacrum, so just above the tailbone. We'll exhale and come down to rest. You're welcome to place a second block underneath, another pillow. Option to open the arms out into a letter T shape. You can also straighten out the legs if you'd like for a bit of a modified fish pose. And one last option that I also like as well, if you have tight hips or a tight lower back, you can bring the soles of your feet to touch, allowing the knees to fall apart into a diamond shape for a reclined bound angle pose or reclined butterfly pose. Whatever shape you choose, I invite you to lower your gaze, gently close your eyes, and find a moment of stillness here. You can even return to our deep belly breath from the start of our practice, placing one hand over the belly, the other over the heart. Feel our deep breaths here. On your next breath, you can bring your knees back together, bending at the knees, walking those feet towards the tailbone, planting the hands down by your side, palms facing down, pressing away as you inhale, lifting the hips, gently setting the blocks or pillows over to the side as you exhale, lowering back down to the mat. Option to windshield wiper the feet, the legs once more. Or option to even gently rock from side to side, bring the knees to the chest. And from here, we'll make our way into our final Shavasana. You have the option here to continue lying on your back, taking any shape that you choose, maybe simply laying on your back or on your belly. One other option is to take that reclined butterfly pose as well. I'm gonna disconnect from this microphone. Let's do this. And I want to invite you, if you haven't already, to gently close your eyes or soften your gaze. The next time you hear my voice will be to conclude our class for tonight. During the sound bath, I invite you to allow your mind to wander. If it happens, that's okay. If you fall asleep, that's okay too. It just means that your body feels safe to relax, to release. Begin to become more aware of your body and the space that it's in. Noticing your fingers, your toes, your hands, arms, and legs. And finally, your entire body from head to toe. If you'd like, you can turn onto one side and lay there for a moment, maybe in the fetal position. And become more aware of your breath. Continuing to breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. When you're ready, make your way into a seated position of your choice. With your hands over your heart, gaze lowered or eyes closed, and we'll close out our class. We'll take a deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth, honoring our practice tonight. We'll take another breath. Honoring our bodies and the way that they continue to support us. One last breath in and out. Honoring your commitment to continue showing up for yourself the same way that you show up for others. Thank you so much for being here tonight. I hope that whatever you found on the mat will continue to ripple out into the rest of your breath, your movements, and activities. Thank you so much. Go in peace. As always, if you'd like to leave any feedback, you're welcome to. I very much appreciate you for being here. Oh, hello. Beautiful. Thank you. All right. I'll be here again next Monday, same time, 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern. I'll see you in the next class. Bye.